Hey everybody, Mark Stiles of Stiles Law down here at Studio B, answering yet another question. We had a client recently who asked us, what do I do if the seller isn't completely moved out on the day of closing? Well, that's a great question. So most purchase and sale agreements take this into account. They give you a certain amount of access opportunities. So what does that mean? I can go into the house while I'm under contract before I own it to do certain measurements, to have appraisals done, to have plot plans done, but also to do a final walkthrough. And this is very important. All buyers should do final walkthroughs. Why? To make sure that the seller moved out. So if you have a closing with Stiles Law, very often we will sit down at the closing table and say, how did the walkthrough go? And depending on the response of the buyer will depend on where we go from here. So, first and foremost, sellers, do a great job cleaning out your house. Be out the day before. Best case scenario is to be completely out the day before. Now, buyers, be reasonable, right? Most purchase and sale agreements talk about broom clean condition. So the standard for how the seller should leave the house is broom clean, not professionally cleaned, not perfect. Okay, so be reasonable. Okay, but what happens if the buyer goes to the walkthrough and there are certain items left in the property? What should the buyer do? Well, first, what we'll say is, well, what's left? Did you take any pictures? Always take pictures so that we can share those with the seller's attorney or the listing agent to show what we're talking about. If it's not a lot and it's reasonable and you want to proceed with closing, we'll proceed with closing. If it's something that you want the seller to complete, maybe we finish the closing but hold the recording. That's one option. We can wait for the seller to finish up and then record afterward. Otherwise, once we record, you as buyer own the house and own what's in the house. So sellers, yes, it's convenient to leave the paint behind, but they really don't want the paint. They want to know what type of color is on the wall, not the old paint cans. That's what you need to take to the dump. Okay? Folks, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please share it with everyone and anyone and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Stiles Law. Thank you and be well.